This is the future.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, Sigvalgrim here and welcome to the update review video. As you're used to by now, after a new update is going to come, we're going to get around the next day and talk about what this update brought to the game that is good and what is bad, and at the same time what was very highly expected of this update to bring in terms of quality of life features and were not there. And we're going to start off with the good stuff because I want the second part of the video to be me fully trashing the game. So we're going to start with the good parts. And there were indeed some very good parts in this update. First up, the classic theme. The best thing out of this update, not only we got a new gold character, we also got an amazing rework for other two gold characters, and that's just great. As I said in my previous videos, I very much enjoy the classic theme. I think they are done very well, they are refactored very well, and classic Wonder Woman is also done very well in terms of how her passives work and how they scale in terms of star rating, so that is not too punishing to the people who have them at lower star ratings. So overall, the classic theme update was a very big W. Next up, we're going to get free Legendary Wonder Woman. As far as they said, it's gonna drop in terms of a versus challenge tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, I don't exactly remember. And it's gonna also have a chance to drop the gears for her, and all you need to farm it is Wonder Woman characters, which are not gonna be that hard to come by. And you're also gonna get another Silver Wonder Woman for free, not the one you get for pretty much playing the tutorial, but another one. You're going to get it for free as soon as the update drop. It's not the new one, it's the Amazonian Wonder Woman or something like that. But yeah, all around good stuff. It's a thing that I suggested for a long time. Like with the legendaries that failed, like the Suicide Squad and the Warrior Queen Wonder Woman, because those were the ones that heavily flopped in terms of performance. Just put them in a versus challenge and people will appreciate them far more, because it's one thing to have a bad legendary that you get for free, and it's another thing to have a bad legendary that you're gonna have a very time getting and maxing out and getting gears for. So very good decision to put her in the versus challenge. Next thing that's good, though I'm not sure this is gonna be definitive, so they made a change into the arena matchmaking so that rather than what was previously happening, in which you would get your team that other people get to fight being your most used characters, now it's gonna be your highest threat characters in your roster, and that's gonna be a very good thing. I wonder why they didn't do that sooner, and that might overall result in higher threat matchmaking matches, and it's gonna be far easier for you to find high threat matches to farm for points. At the same time, it might not work still, because every single time after they do a new update, the opponents in Arena are gonna be very easily to find in terms of high threat points, and then it's gonna get progressively worse all the way until we get to the next update, so we don't know how effective this is just yet. Next up, Raven and Deathstroke tag-ins are fixed, and they're not gonna get interrupted by basic attack hits. Allegedly, I didn't get to test Deathstroke myself, but I think I can confirm for Raven working. Also, Deathstroke swipe back has been fixed, so now he swipes back like a normal character, so you'll not have that huge delay. And his special 2 is now fixed as far as I'm aware. There are some bugs here and there with that, but overall, they did the right thing fixing the special 2, because there's two ways they could have gone about it. They could have either nerfed it for the people who didn't upgrade it past level 12, or they could have buffed it to the same level for the people who upgraded it all the way to 70 or 80. And that's what they did. Now the special 2 is gonna be as effective as it was at lower levels at higher levels, because it's not gonna count towards the percentage of 36 in total, the damage that is capped by the damage cap. So it's pretty much the same deal as it was when you had the special 2 at level 12, but now it's gonna be regardless of the level of the special that you have, and I'm very glad they fixed that. Also, they did some small UI changes, and what I can tell is that you can get faster into the chests in the store, and now daily quests claim automatically when you enter them. I mean, it's fine, I guess. But yeah, those were the good things so far. I'm not gonna mention the upcoming soul rates or the upcoming character, because that is not yet in the game. I know I mentioned the legendary Wonder Woman, but that's something they announced specifically on their DC website. So yeah, now getting into the bad things. The artifact box. So yeah, now if you scroll too much in terms of your artifacts, you're going to get some of them disappearing. You're still gonna own those artifacts, but if you scroll too much all the way to the right, you're going to get to a point where until they fix this upgrade, you literally lose access to using some of your artifacts, and this is just terrible. This is terrible. A lot of people don't get to use anymore their artifacts that they paid money for. Boy, this is indeed a bad one. Next best thing is going to be the Wonder Pass. So look, I made a video on the Wonder Pass because I got a few complaints. And at first I was kind of reluctant to make that video because I was like, maybe it's a small group of people, maybe it's not that bad. But boy, is it bad. It's terrible. So the Wonder Pass is going to unlock a Wonder Woman character. And if you get lucky enough to actually get the Wonder Woman shards, I did. Other people did not get the Wonder Woman shards even though they paid for the pack. The game is not gonna register properly the fact that you have the ability to convert CA shards into Wonder Woman shards. So that resulted in situations where people literally got their Wonder Woman, made her like 3 stars through CA shards, and as soon as they reached all the way to the point where they would unlock again shards for her from the Wonder Pass, it literally got deleted from the roster with all the upgrades that they did for her gun. This is beyond terrible, boy. Like the whole Wonder Pass is buggy as hell. Like, I understand it's a beta version, and I wouldn't have complained one bit about it if you gave it for free. But since it's a beta version, and you know it's gonna be bugs, just give it for free for the first month to test it out. Don't ask people for money for your buggy mess of a Wonder Pass. Like, boy, this is just awfully terrible what they did with the Wonder Pass. Like, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against the Wonder Pass. I think a Battle Pass that you can buy monthly is gonna be a good way for people to support the game and get something in exchange that's worth their money. The rewards, if you ask me, like if you would get to pay $10 and get the rewards straight away, they would be worth it. But again, there's a lot of problems with getting those rewards, and at the same time, it's gonna be a grindy process, and you'll have to play the game constantly. You'll have to work for that $10 you paid to get the most of your value. So it's a very iffy situation with the Wonder Pass. I'm really sad that they're asking for money for it, considering the state that it is in. But yeah, it is what it is. Unusual Gameplay is back. It's your boy, Unusual Gameplay. Did you miss it? No, you didn't. But yeah, it's back. A lot of people are experiencing again Unusual Gameplay bug, in which after a fight the damage is not registered. The whole Batman Who Laughs Gears thing is just weird. So we got after the update for like a few hours Batman Who Laughs Gears in the store. Some people managed to grab them, some people didn't. The character is not even in the roster yet. People who got the gears, including myself on one account, shattered it by mistake because it's gonna get into the shatter all pool of your roster. So it's overall a very, very weird situation, and look, I understand them removing the gears from the arena store. That's understandable because it looked weird. The character was not even in the game, and I'm blaming them all the way for leaving it there. That's a huge mistake. Leave them there. But if once the Batman Who Laughs is gonna be released, if everybody gets the gears for free from the achievements or they get put back in the arena store, it's okay, my dudes, we can move past this. But if it gets to a point where the gears are gonna be pretty much the same story as Black Manta, where you have to open a bad chest, try and gamble for them, and there's people who will still have the gears from the arena store, that's gonna be a very bad scenario. And I'm not saying remove the gears for the people who got them, I'm saying give it for free to everybody or it's gonna look terrible for you. Also got a lot of complaints about login and update errors from a lot of people. That happens after every single update, so nothing new here, but I'm very sad if you're experiencing that. And the guaranteed loss in arena on timeout is also a bad thing, because look, that's not gonna affect players who already have good arena teams. It's gonna affect mostly the players who are in a situation where their roster is not looking too good, and sometimes they go all the way to 3 minutes and they would have been happy with a win. But that option is gone. So those are the bad things so far. Now, things that we didn't get. Keep in mind, those are not things like, oh, why didn't they add the Ninja Turtles to Ingest 2 Mobile? I wanted the Ninja Turtles to Ingest 2 Mobile. This is not like that. It's going to be small things and quality of life feature things that the community has been asking for ages. And one of them is a slider for the XP capsules in the League store. That thing takes ages if you have them. If you have to buy them one by one, it takes ages. Just put a slider in there, and you're on the long run gonna save years of your fan bases and player bases lives. Just put a slider in the League store already. A lot of people have been asking for the XP capsules in the League store to be upgraded to level 7, and I think that's fair. A lot of people have been asking for XP capsules in the Arena store, because the problem with the Arena store, also, it didn't get changed, but I'm not necessarily sure that's a bad thing, because the Arena store we get right now is pretty much the best Arena store we've had in like a year, and chances are if they're gonna change it, and they will change it at some point, it's gonna be something worse, so I'm not too eager for it to be changed. But there's still the problem for the people who have all the characters in the Arena store maxed out, and there's a lot of them. There's literally nothing for them to spend their Arena capsules on, the Arena medals. So just adding XP capsules in there as well would be a very, very easy way to ensure a way to spend those Arena points. Next up, something to do with the extra shards. I mean, look, they implemented some systems in the game. Now we have the 7-star system, but after 7-starring my Swamp Thing, I still have 5,000 shards extra for Swamp Thing. What can I do with them? And everyone else would be like, oh, you can donate them to your league mates. Tell me, lads, come on, get around. Who in the comments wants some Swamp Thing shards? I feel generous today, I'm gonna give them to you. In exchange for Black Manta, obviously. Nobody wants shards for most of the characters that people have extra shards for. And the problem has been increased by the drops in soul rates, because there's gonna be a lot of garbage in terms of the character drops in there. There's a ton of extra shards and nothing to do with them. At the same time, a league founding list. People have been asking for ages for us, other than seeing the top 3 contributors in terms of leagues, for us to be able to see how much everybody founded, because that's gonna be far easier for you to manage leagues if that's the case. That should have been a day 0 league feature as soon as the league rates were introduced, and years later it's still not there. And the last thing is gonna be an artifact chest. Like, look. Back when they introduced Dawn of Apocalypse, we had the artifact chest that had all the Dawn of Apocalypse artifacts. And that was good. Like, they were still hard to get, you still had to spend a ton of gems, but there was a way for the free-to-play players to get those artifacts. And look, at the same time, I understand. I mean, it's still not gonna be fair, and it's still not gonna be the best way to do things, but even if you're gonna, let's say, do the early access side of things, in which when you release a new soul rate, you're going to add the artifacts of the previous soul rate in the artifact pool. So for example, now that we get the new soul rate released, you're going to get the artifacts from the last contract. It's just an example, by the way. I don't want the artifacts of the last contract. Those were terrible. But now that we are going to get the new soul rate, you're going to put in the artifact chest the artifacts that were in the last contract alongside with all the other artifacts in the game. That's the way you could do it, and you would still make tons of money for people who want to get artifacts earlier, not one soul rate behind. But yeah, the artifact chest is still not there, and the artifacts are still currently paid to win. Like, don't get me with that. Oh, you have a chance to drop them from soul rates. That's bullshit. You're never gonna drop them, and if you're gonna drop them, it's gonna be a very, very, very lucky drop, and it's not something to reliably distribute new content to players. But yeah, all that being said, this was it for this update. I mean, look, I'm kind of torn with this update because I really, really like the classic team, and I really like the fact that we're going to get the Golden Armor Wonder Woman for free, and if the arena matches is here to stay, that's amazing. But at the same time, yet again, so many things that went wrong and so many things that were not added. But look, at the very least in this update, as far as I'm aware, we didn't get a straight up nerf to anything, so that's on the good side of things. So overall, honestly, this is at the same time the best, not really the worst, is the best the update I've ever seen in terms of the classic reworks and the free legendary, but at the same time it's a very bad update because of all the bugs and glitches and the terrible implementation of the Wonder Pass. Overall, if they fix everything that they did wrong, because this is something they did wrong, not something they necessarily intended to go wrong, this update could be a huge win for the community. But if they take a long ass time to fix it or don't fix it at all, this is gonna be overall kind of terrible. But yeah, that was for this video. Let me know in the comments what's your opinion on the new update, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye!
This is the future.